Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Day 9 Daily number 650, where SOS is literally the best gamer of 2013. Ouch. I don't know how I screwed that snap up, but that's okay. SOS is good. And we'll be playing at Red Bull Battlegrounds, not this weekend, but the next one in New York City at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Hope to see you there. I'm commentating. Oh crap, I said that I would tweet tickets. You know what? We're just going to do that right now. Getting called out in chat. Red Bull Battlegrounds 2013. There it is. Control C. I'm doing my daily on SOS, who's attending the Red Bull Battlegrounds in NYC. Here's a link to tickets! Don't have enough for my show, but whatever. Man, I type quickly. In part numéro 1. We checked out the meaning of life by watching SOS do a very, very aggressive cannon rush into warpgate attack, and then said, hey, you know what, stargates? Good way to follow up, and we talked about why. In particular, using Zealots and Phoenixes a lot in aggression. In Game 2, started out aggressive, got some attacking going on, but then we saw that SOS left himself open so many options by going down a ton of different tech paths while still being aggressive. Recall's amazing for being able to do that sort of thing. I love Recall. Oops, I accidentally fast-forwarded in this game. And the hallucinations to get perfect scouting information, and all those techs left him alive. This game is just an exquisitely executed standard play out of SOS. This I would call the standard PvZ strat. As standard can be. Like, right now. This is the norm. If you don't know this build, you are not playing PvZ correctly, but SOS executed so brilliantly, oh, it's so good, that it makes me happy. First of all, Nexus First makes sense on this map. Nexus First actually quite important for the build that we're about to see. Forge in main, Pylon at Expo. But why? Why here? Most people who go Nexus First enjoy putting the Forge here, so that if they see a 6 pool, they can simply build a cannon here. And then they don't lose the Forge. Scout going on by SOS, usual sort of thing. Gateway, a very sensible decision. And last but not least, a photon cannon. Little bit of a meta play. I'm assuming that you're not 6 pooling me or rushing me because I haven't seen it yet. Therefore, it is safe to go gateway and then cannon. Double gas to follow it up. Now, this first scouting probe in any build is looking for thirds. That's always what it's doing. And by that I mean you better be doing that, man. What's a normal time to have seen a third by? 4:15. You should see the third at 4:15. Now, SOS is going to be preparing himself a little fancy schmancy gateway attacky. All chronos on the probes for a long time. For a long ass, damn ass, time ass. More chrono boosts on the farther away Nexus versus the close to home Nexus. So, first little standard bits. Our probe, remember that probe that I said was checking the third? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention another key thing. Let's watch them. It's heading back home along the path that Jaedong would be sending an attack. So it's cool not to be building a zealot, it's cool not to be building a zealot, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, and yeah, great, good. Feeling relatively safe at this point in time. Which is why the instant stargate, instead of a zealot, we see many players do. Now, if you don't have good reaction times, just put a probe there to do the wall-offs. This was, I think, the biggest misstep of the entire game. Jaedong missing that. And then SOS being able to come down here and build this pylon. Now, if we take a look at what's going on back home, no +1. Chrono, almost exclusively on probes at this point. Once that Stargate got started, that's when everything halted. Here's the standard play. I'm going to get Phoenixes to harass via air to shut down his vision so that a warp gate attack can do super good. +1 attack started, and then it looks like sOs was like, nah. Chrono boost on the Phoenix. One of the coolest things I've seen. The most aggressive chrono boosting there. And the sentries back home as well. All those minerals that have been saved up by building those zealots go into these 4 gateways, partially informed by the fact that this probe has yet to be spotted. But this is still a super standard build. The last little bit is the robo facility. This is going to help us get our expand. All the rest of this is the tactical opening, the funds. I don't mind moving out with 2 Phoenixes. Vulnerable drones are still easy to pick up and just kill off. We can also kill off overlords and get a complete scout. You see that? See what I just said about the vulnerable dudes? I wasn't lying. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I will have you note that 8 minutes is a slow warp gate. Just trust me. Or do the math. 3:30 is when a gateway starts. 4:30 is when cybernetics core starts. 5:30 is about when the cybernetics core finishes. How long is warp gate? If you said to yourself 160 seconds, then you're a smart fucking person. 160 seconds. With 4 chrono boosts going down, that means it will finish in 120 seconds, which means that it normally finishes around 7:30 in a very fast circumstance. 5 seconds to turn into the warp gate, 5 seconds to warp in the units. That's going to mean that it's around 7:30. Really fast warp gates after early expands are like 7:15. This is just late. This is super late, but this is the standard tactical play. Use the Phoenixes to shut down the vision. What does the Dong see? Not a lot. You can always lift this guy too. Now, if for some reason this gets spotted and shut down, you know what you do? Expand. You expand right now. And your Robo Bay is about to pop a support bay. Your Robo Facility is about to pop a support bay. Nice, right? Last thing to go down is the Mothership Core. 2 warp-in rounds is the norm, because it's a little bit too long for a Zerg player to be able to deal with it. So elegant, so exquisite. sOs, getting up in it. Killing Ovies and whatnot with it. Oops, forgot an important thing because I'm bad at my job. Ha ha ha. LOL. I've got to come back just a smidgy pooch to 8 minutes. Gonna come to the sOs camp. What is the right number of Phoenixes to make? Most folk argue 4. 4. Why 4? Why? Why would I build 4? Because that's 1 lifting, 3 shooting at a queen, dead queen. Simplest number. But here, sOs is going to use the same logic that we saw all the way in Game 1. The more spread out you are, and the lower your general defenses, the better Phoenixes and Zealots are. sOs says, oh, well, I think I'm going to be able to do some serious damage, maybe even killing this off, certainly weakening him a little bit. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually probably going to get another Phoenix. This finishes. We can get the Bay right now. But he doesn't quite. He rather. He waits a little bit, warps it in, and then throws down Zealots. Now, upon seeing this, and seeing 1 Spore, another Phoenix gets made. This is one of my favorite parts about sOs, is he actually just judges what's going on in the situation and says, you know what, Phoenixes are going to be good here. Kills himself off some overlords, goes hunting, and is still setting himself up the expansion. Now, he does wind up losing all his Zealots, a little bit accidentally, but no problem. Soon enough, Colossus coming out. Twilight Council going down, we'll talk about that in a minute. Phoenixes just do usual harassment and all that sort of thing. We talked about how tech and aggressive SOS is. This is the theme that we're seeing out of many Protosses nowadays. The instant Twilight Council. But why Twilight Council? For very fast blink. Most players go like cannon, gateway, and they're so proud of themselves for having defended their cannon. Twilight Council comes down first for SOS because he's desperate to get Blink up to be able to do a follow-up push. He is so desperate. And, yeah, good. Yeah, there you go. Blink. Upgrades. Blink and upgrades. Now, the only Chrono Boost that ever needs to be thrown down is on the Forge. Because we're going to be doing a 2-1 timing attack. We delayed our +2 because we did this stuff. We went for gateways, went for a Stargate, man. We didn't have time to get a Twilight Council. We had to get a Colossus. So 1-1 is almost always done for SOS. And then one of the easiest follow-up timing pushes in all of StarCraft 2 upon establishing a third. Very fast blink, very fast +2. I mean, probes are getting made, and that's great, but almost all the chronos going down on this +2. Building lots of Colossus, rallying before Blink is done. Blink is not so much an offensive ability as it is a defensive ability. +2 attack, very much so an offensive ability. So I say defensive because it helps keep the units alive and helps protect them. So I like that SOS is waiting to move out until it's basically done, and then he's going to park his buns down on the middle of the map and wait for +2. One of the easiest timing attack follow-ups ever. Now, very significant to note, look at the gateway count, 8 gateways, should be 9, but he forgot to warp 1 in. It's very easy to overvalue these guys. The most important tool in this mix is the Stalker. That's why we get the blink so early, is that this comes very quickly relative to everything. Just what an exquisitely executed attack. Hallucinates there to absorb some shots, even if the Corruptors don't shoot at it. Then that's still a little bit of extra shots from the Roaches. I will also happily note that Chrono Boost now is all up on warp gates. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. I'm amped up. No, damn it, that doesn't work. I was like, I'm gonna be amped up, and then I felt a crack here. I was gonna, but nope. We're gonna take some questions. I'm thinking questions are good. Let's recap today's daily. We got the chance to see some very attack-oriented openings, and most importantly, the follow-ups for them to be able to plug into that. Specific techniques, double Stargate, to be able to take a fast third. And if we don't have any sort of roach thing, we don't even have to build Void Rays. We can go straight into Phoenix to deal some extra damage if we see the opportunity. But if we see that, we just build Void Rays and then just take our third. And then the next thing that we talked a little bit about is when things go wrong, still a lot of gateway-focused pushes going out. Sentry, Stalker, Hallucination moving out. And pending the map, like on Acheron Waste, just waiting. Getting a lot of tech paths up and identifying what's going on with the constant hallucinated Phoenixes to answer accordingly. And here in this game we saw the most standard pressure of all time, how everything plugs in. And of course the super fast tech paths. Ooh, we got Colossus for defense and a really fast Twilight Council to follow up. Means we can do very fast pushes with Blink Stalkers. Let's go ahead and turn subscribers off and take some questions. Little Big 11 says, Day 9, I can't help but notice that in multiple games where SOS beat Jadong in the finals, SOS used the cannon rush. To what extent can we attribute SOS's success to the cannon rushes, and how could Jadong made his games go better? I think that the Acheron Waste game is the perfect example of an exquisite answer from Jadong. I think that his mess up was actually in the mid and late game. I think that Jaedong had a great opportunity, but he switched to ultras, which is a little bit peculiar. I think that more aggression, hell, even doing a mass doom drop in the main, followed up by a switch to 50 mutas, would have been a better choice. I think that's the big thing. What killed Jaedong in that game on Akalon Waste is that he had 5k in the bank, but was maxed. So the other thing is, how do we attribute his success to it? sOs does cannon rushes that are good and can win games, but mainly inconvenience Zerg. I don't think he was wildly ahead in those games. Mercurycraft asks, great question. How does sOs have just enough to stay alive while building all that tech? Is there like a general thing to have to just not die? The biggest thing is the scouting. Like, sOs is crazy with his scouting, like insane with the scouting. I'm actually going to open up this game number 1. The more he sees Zerg trying to get away with stuff, the more he's like, alright, sweet, I'm just going to like tech up. Alright, let's go ahead and watch this on ×8 speed as an example. This is the Cannon Rush game that we saw in part number 1. If you can scout enough, you'll be able to see what you can get away with, and I really like this game as an example. Also, sOs does something, this is so important, you can just try to take and expand, and if it doesn't work, just cancel it. It like almost like hurts my brain that it makes sense, and it hurts my heart. But you can throw down an expansion really early, way long before you have any defense, and if he doesn't attack it, great, you have an expansion up really early. But if he does, the only way he would have been able to kill it off is with a significant investment. So you can just cancel, and his investment to kill off your third is more than your investment having canceled it. Let's go ahead and see both of those. Again, aggressive scouting and a really early third, willingness to cancel. That was a great question by Mercurycraft. God, Mercurycraft, you're one hot person. So watch this. He scouts up here. He's like, did you get gas? Is there gas? No, I don't see any gas. Alright, so I'm going to park myself by this thing. Let me actually just check if there's a third. There's a third. Okay. I'm going to stay at the front. I'm going to make sure there's nothing coming. I'm still just checking to make sure there's nothing going by. I see drones. See how aggressive that scouting is? Even seeing what units pass from here up northwardly. Alright, no threats. Patrolling. Patrolling, checking Zerglings. Queen is making her way up. Literally has everything on like utter lockdown. Well, I don't think we got the chance to see that much. You know what? Go. Go, Zealot. Go, Zealot. Go, Zealot. Go. One of the best things about these gateway follow-ups is even if you don't quite get the best scout, you still have 4 gateways, so you're pretty flexible in defense. And the Zealot does the same thing. It's parking. It's actually checking to see what's popping between these 2 bases. Just checking. Checking. Not seeing. It's mainly Lings. Alright, cool. He's probably not going to be doing anything huge. Alright, and now I'm going straight up into the main. Great scouting intel here. Now, the other thing I was talking about him getting enough to hold stuff off. Right now, there's Zealot warp-ins. You can see Phoenixes and Zealots being built up here in the production tab. There's 3 more Zealots that are going in. sOs, I mean, look, is basically safe here. A Virtue of Jaedong not really attacking. Alright, we are good. Alright, cool. There's the expand going down. Now here's a lot of Zerglings. He just cancels. And then focuses back on attacking again. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom. Let's take one more. Boom, doom, 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 doom. Unemployed Shaku says, Dana, can you please not get sick next year so I'm not standing outside the curtain of disappointment? Oh, God, I feel so bad. Dude, guys, I fucked up BlizzCon, so I feel horrible. I've been bummed about that for days. Normally, I pride myself in, like, spending lots of time, you know, hanging out with people, because, you know, people come a long way to events, and may as well just, you know, hang out for, like, 2 minutes, and then someone else hang out for 2 minutes, and so on and so forth. Dude, I was, like, really long days, like, back-to-back-to-back scheduled events. I probably signed for, like, 20 people. Ugh. I, like, really screwed it up. I'm, like, really sorry. I just got super sick. I was, like, quite sick in day 2. I got myself a little fever. Then fevered it up on Monday, and that felt nice. Felt good. I like having fevers. It's one of my favorites. I slept like for a very long time last night, so I feel great. But I'm like really sorry. Like that's the only thing I can say. I hate saying that and then doing nothing, but I'm like I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I partied out. Dude, guys, I partied so hard that I couldn't sign. Dude, I was drugsing on an alcohol slide, so I couldn't. With hookers. Then tomorrow, anyways. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a little SOSing. Protoss vs. Terran, his Templar style. Thursday we're going to do sOs's PvP. Then next week, no Fun Day Monday next week. Or the week after, because I'm just out of town. There will be shows on Monday and Tuesday next week, but on Wednesday I'm flying to New York for the Red Bull Battlegrounds. Hope to see you there. I have scheduled free time, so I can definitely come by and say hi then. And then I'm out of town until Monday, and then we're going to be doing some more Fun Day Mondays. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, boom, doom, 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 doom.